was just going to comment on that because the song is called Pantomime, and you're talking about miming, and I flashed on that as you were doing the oohs and ahs, and I thought, that's really letting the voice and the music carry the song as opposed to words. And that plays right into the idea of the whole lyrics. Don't talk about it, do it. And that's, I think it fits perfectly.
Thank you so much. I try hard to, create like kind of a don't want it to be overt, I try to be very subtle whenever I do things. So I appreciate you making that comment. Kind of like a musical impressionism, very, very, very popular in the psychedelic era, where you'll just say like a sentence or two, and people are supposed to get this huge meaning out of it. And it's definitely my favorite kind of music. Like, I mean, which is weird to saying that like I loved punk music at the start. I think they have some semblance of like figurative language and that sort of thing, but they're not known for it. They're known for more like yelling and screaming and saying exactly what they mean. But I think I've come to enjoy kind of the enigma of poetry in music.
Well, and I think the truth that punk music speaks is really indicative of that whole genre, but people don't hear that most of the time. They turn on the radio, like you said, to have fun, hear music, whatever.
Funny, another thing about that, in high school, I really loved the band Cake. Did you ever listen to them? So I know every song.
I know who they are. I didn't listen to them a lot.
Yeah. So a buddy of mine turned me on to them in high school, and I would listen to the album as I walked home. And it was really just, I played it on repeat, and then I'd get the next album and play it on repeat. And I know their discography so well, like you could probably play me 1 second of any of their songs, and I'd tell you what the song was.
Right.
And I loved the marriage that they had between kind of this musical complexity, because they obviously knew what they were doing, even though it didn't seem complex. There were all these melodies mixing and mingling and different textures coming in and out, but the groove was always very solid, and the singing and the lyrics just kind of sold it from there. And I loved how they were so clever and again very subtle in what they did.
Exactly. Yeah.
That song was actually patterned after them in that subtlety of like.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it didn't need to be tons of chords, no key changes, none of that stuff. Like, get some mileage out of your tools. Like if you know how to use a screwdriver, use it when it's necessary and use it well. But if you need a hammer, all that, use the right thing for the right job instead of,
if you're me, then you use the other end of the screwdriver and then you say, I need a hammer.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with getting creative, that's for sure.
Sure. But
if
the
you need
right
to get
tool for the job is really important.
We're allowed to spend as much time as we want writing a song, so if you need a hammer, go get a hammer. Rent one if you need to. So, it's important to also have like the sounding board, right? You gotta have your friends that'll tell you, honestly, this song ain't working. It doesn't sound good. Fix this part, or road testing it. You go out and you play it and you see people just constantly clapping for this particular song. And you're like, I don't know what I did. Let me go figure it out. And you take the tricks, and that's apparently part of your sound.
Yeah, and that's a great compliment when people dance or clap to your music.
Oh, yeah.
That means you're getting through on some level. So going home and figuring out what you did is a really wise thing.
Yeah, what's working here? What are our wins?